Right now you're seeing a before shot of what the property looked like before I started on it the first day. Now this is what it looks like starting day 2. The homeowner has done a tremendous amount of work since I was here last. Some of this still had brush up here the first 20 feet or so. Then there was a lot of brush piles around here that they've cleaned up and burned. But you can see the larger stumps scattered all over the place. There's a lot of larger stumps, but then there's tons and tons of smaller stumps, and ultimately they'd like to mow here. Like you notice those from a distance, but you wouldn't notice right here is a 3-inch stub. There's a 2-inch, bunch of little 1-inch stuff. They're just everywhere. All right, so the first section I showed you was the roughest section that I left. Then up here, he's got all these stumps marked in orange. So this section back here is the section that's got the least amount of debris left in it. It's almost where you can already mow it. But right here, there's a ton of stumps, and then I'm gonna try to level the ground out a little bit where I made ruts with the tractor. A lot of time and energy goes into making these videos, so if you enjoy them, take a second, hit the like button, let the YouTube algorithm know that this is the kind of content they should spread. If you have anything that you see I could do better, feel free to put it in the comments. I learned a lot through suggestions that I get from viewers. So I literally did grind out at least 100 stumps today, and that was over the course of 6 hours. I recorded over 2 hours of footage, and obviously there's no way I'm going to show every bit of that in one video. So I've got a little bit of sped up footage here, just showing working my way across the property, and then a couple of the stumps that were different or more interesting I'll show in real time. Most of the time when I'm grinding stumps, I pull up to the stump, get in position, start the PTO, then I get off the tractor, stand next to it where I've got better visibility, and operate the levers from the side. What I found out today is if you're doing a lot of small stumps, it takes more time to get on and off the tractor and engage that stationary PTO setting than it does to just turn around and grind them from the tractor seat. It's a little quicker that way, but it sounds kind of like a petty complaint, but by the end of the day, your neck gets pretty sore from turning around to look. Every so often, you'll see one like the one that I just did, that you start the grinder up against the stump, and you see the stump bouncing really hard, and from that bouncing, I can tell that it's not rooted into the ground anymore, so you can just turn around and rip them out with the bucket sometimes. This one's a little bit bigger, but I wasn't very close with the camera, so we'll just go ahead and skip through it real quick. You can see smoke wafting across the top of the screen. They were burning brush the entire day, and I guess they've been burning brush for a few weeks. But there's still 2 huge piles, and it looks like they're going to be working on that all summer. But I mentioned in the previous video I did about this property, They've lived here for years and never been able to see across to the neighbor property, and I think they're pretty happy with the result we're getting. There may be one more day of work here with the tractor, or several days of work left manually leveling out the high and low spots. But outside of that, it's coming around. It's really hard to tell what's going on with this stump right here, but when we were originally clearing the property, this tree was growing straight sideways. I mean, 100% parallel to the ground. I've never seen anything like it, but you had a 20-foot tall tree that never got more than 5 feet off the ground. So what I have here is the base of the tree, and the root system is basically a stump that's 6 or 8 feet long. That entire roughed up area that you see is the roots of the tree. So I was originally thinking I was going to have a massive grind area and just grind up the whole thing. But then as I was hitting this end right here, I noticed a big anchor root off to the side. Right now I've moved over there and I'm grinding that anchor root out. Then after that, it was freed up enough that I could start trying to lift it out instead of grinding the whole thing. This next stump is the biggest one I ground out all day. It's about 30 inches wide, about 20 inches tall. Not a massive root system under it. I've taken out a lot of stumps bigger than this, but I also charged more for my time when I was doing that. Anyway, they've been wanting to see this one go for a long time because it wasn't really in the land clearing area. It was more in the edge of their yard. So like I said earlier, I skipped a ton of the work because I've tried to steer away from doing the time lapse and playing a lot of music during the videos, and I wanted to keep it at a reasonable length. But this is a tremendous transformation from what we started with to what we have now, and I charged them a total of $600